Hello, I'm Jackie Bain, Community Health Specialist with the Delaware Public Health District, and I'm coordinator of the Safe Delaware County Coalition. On behalf of SAFE, I would like to kick off the annual Click It or Ticket enforcement campaign, which begins on May 24th and runs through June 6th. The Click It or Ticket campaign aims at enforcing seatbelt use to safeguard our travelers as they drive to their summer destinations. Today, we are reminded that the leading cause of death in traffic crashes is failure to wear a seatbelt. In fact, last year in 2020, 487 people were killed in Ohio traffic crashes because they weren't wearing their seatbelt. Earlier this month, Lieutenant Eric Caudell, the commander of the Delaware post of the Ohio State Highway Patrol, presented Ashleigh Conkey with a certificate awarding her membership in the Saved by the Seatbelt Club. This is a club that recognizes people who have benefited from their decision to wear their safety belts. In Lieutenant's words, Ashleigh is a living testimony to the effectiveness of safety belts. Everyone needs to buckle up, every trip, every time. Joining us now is Ashleigh Conkey to share her story with us. Thank you, Ashleigh, for being with us today.
Hi there. I'm happy to be here and thank you for having me. Um, so on March 16th, I was on my way home from my cousin's funeral in Cleveland. I was hit by a drunk driver, and um, so I was driving. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and there wasn't really anybody around me on the highway. I was just driving along, and I must have caught headlights in my rearview mirror because I looked up and I saw a car like barreling at me from behind. I was hoping that she would, get around me, but she rear-ended me. My car swerved into the right lane of 71, and then as I was trying to regain control of my car, it rolled over onto its top. And then it slid into the guardrail on the side of 71. And as I slid into the guardrail, I saw I was upside down. I saw the airbag go off from the steering wheel. So it all happened so fast. I only remember like bits and pieces of it. But so the airbag went off. I'm upside down, hanging kind of like suspended by my seatbelt. So, and I thought I was okay. So I unbuckled my seatbelt and I kind of fell onto the roof of the car, and I was able to get out. There were people waiting out there to help me. So once I opened the door, there were people to help me out of the car. After I got out of the car, my whole family was up at the funeral. And my whole rest of my family was in another car behind me. My parents, my brother, sister-in-law, and my niece. She's a little toddler. So they were all behind me, about 5 minutes behind me. So my only concern, like after I got out of the car, was finding my cell phone so that I could call them, because being on our way home from a funeral, I didn't want them to think that I was hurt, if they saw my car, or hurt or worse. So I was able to find my car my cell phone under a bunch of stuff in my car, and I was able to call them, and they answered. They had already passed the crash. They did not know it was me, thankfully, but they had already passed it. So they turned around and were able to come back and pick me up at the scene and be with me while I talked to the cops and everything. So it was just pretty traumatic for everybody, just after all the stuff we'd been through that day. But yeah, I had a couple injuries from the crash, mostly because of the rollover. I had some cervical strain in my neck and whiplash. And I know that it could, if I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, it would have been so much worse. I could have broken my neck, severed my spine, died. There's a whole lot of stuff that could have happened. So I'm just really thankful that I was taught when I was a little kid to, like, the first thing you do when you get in the car is buckle up. And I always do that now. Get in the car, buckle up, turn it on. So I never drive without it. It just doesn't feel right. So that's my story.
Oh my gosh, that must have been very traumatic. I can't even imagine. I mean, someone rear-ending you when you're already going highway speeds.
Yeah.
And you're already in motion and somebody comes up behind you. It must have been just horrific. And I am so sorry that you had to go through that, but I am so happy that your seatbelt saved your life, and that wonderful family of yours brought you up to always buckle up every trip. So thank you very much, Ashleigh. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with people about wearing their seatbelt, if they're not doing so right now, why you would recommend it?
I think for me, after the accident, I think the biggest thing is to, I could have been severely injured, and there are people that care about you out there, and you don't want to be hurt, injured, die for a reason that you could have just buckled up and saved yourself. So just thinking about what happened to me and what could have happened to me, it makes it even more important for me to wear my seatbelt, because you never know what's going to happen, even if you're close to it. I was only like 20 minutes from my house, so I was close, and you never know when something like that's going to happen. So it's really important that you wear your seatbelt like all the time, because I wasn't expecting to get hit by a drunk driver either on my way home from a funeral. So
yeah, well, thank you very much for sharing this. And I really like that, what you just said. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for the people who love you, and that it's important that you remain in their lives healthy and safe. So thank you again, Ashleigh. And everyone, don't forget, click it or ticket and click it to live. Thank you.
Thank you.